Welcome back to the Tech Week TV studio here at Techcelerator London Tech Week, where joining me on the sofa is Megan Lubaszka, Creative Media Lead at Gensler. Hi Megan, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you very much for joining us. So what I want to talk about is Gensler, a company you work for, and how it is using with its clients some advanced visualization technologies. But first things first, Gensler, it's a design and architecture firm. Fill in the gaps for us.
So Gensler is the largest architecture firm in the world.
Oh, wow.
We'll design everything from tall buildings, we did the tallest building in China, the Shanghai Tower, to even a label on a bottle of wine. We design museums, airports, retail centers, hotels, everything you can think of. And a really important component of our work lately has been augmented and virtual reality.
Aha, okay. So as a creative media lead, what does that mean you do then?
So it means that I help spearhead a lot of our visualization efforts. Everything from training staff on how to use it to occasionally coding custom apps for our process, testing new projects with leading software and hardware partners. We have early access to everything, and we provide our feedback on how to create the best possible software and headsets for the architecture, engineering, and construction industry.
Okay, so I think I get it in as much as visualization, particularly for clients. You know, you've got this fantastic design, whether it's a tall building or whether it's a shop interior or whatever it is, and you want to help clients to see that vision rather than just being on a piece of paper. You want to help them experience it. And that's where the visualization technologies come in.
Yes. Have you ever heard of aphantasia?
I don't think I have, no.
So it's the inability to visualize. Okay. And there have been very few studies on it, but some early ones predict that only 10% of people are able to see something in their mind's eye, or 10% of people are not able to see something in their mind's eye. So a lot of those people are our clients. We might be saying to them, can you imagine this doorway here? And they'll be nodding their heads, but they have no idea. They have no visual imagination. So with virtual reality, you can take your design and your mindset and put it on someone's head, and for the first time they can actually be in the space and understand what they're going to get.
And be present, and I know that's a term that we use in virtual realities, be present in the space that you at Gensler have envisioned for them.
Exactly. So it eliminates surprises. Normally a client would just agree with an architect because they like them, they like a picture, and they don't know what they're getting till opening day. So now they'll be able to see a space before they spend any money on construction.
So I get the principle. In terms of the technologies, I mean, I come at it from a consumer technology point of view with Oculus Rift and so on, and the big noise that made back in 2012. In the consumer landscape, it hasn't really landed home at the scale that many of us perhaps predicted. In the enterprise landscape where you sit, how has the technology developed over the last 5 or 6 years? Is it now, would you say, at a state of maturity so that it is genuinely useful and exciting about what the next 5 or so years might bring?
I think virtual reality has reached a maturity level. It's there, we can use it on all of our projects. We are using the Rift, the HTC Vive, the Samsung Gear, just simple ways for clients to see it. But I do think augmented reality is lagging a little bit. So part of what I'm super excited about this week to see is the HoloLens 2 and hear what Microsoft has to say about that. But in terms of what we're able to deliver to our clients, we're giving them great VR experiences with the landscape as it is now.
And I guess that's the difference to a certain extent when you look at augmented reality versus virtual reality, or mixed reality as Microsoft might call it. When you start looking at mixed reality, the use cases that the likes of Microsoft come up with, it's not just about experiencing a virtual environment, it's actually interacting with it and creating it. So in your work that you do at Gensler, are architects, designers working in virtual worlds at the moment using augmented and mixed reality technologies to help them collaborate, to be better creatively?
Yes, we do have a feature in which architects from many of our offices, because we're located all over the world, can come together in one model and do a walkthrough. So it's kind of like a multiplayer game, but for design. And then we also have an entire area of practice called digital experience design, which is about creating special, spectacular, augmented experiences within our buildings for clients. So say you're doing a retail store or some kind of futuristic placemaking experience, we can add a layer of augmented reality, or we can also add projection mapping, some of these other new technologies, so that the physical and digital world are not so divorced, but kind of blend together for one amazing experience.
Are there any barriers that are that it will be good to overcome in order to, make the next step? Touch is certainly one area. Some of the interactions are pinches and so on, but you don't really have a sense of being tactile with the objects, the virtual objects you might be moving around a table.
Yeah, one of the great things we've seen with the Magic Leap device, I don't know if you've had a chance to try that, but it has a hand controller, so it's a lot easier for the first user to navigate around in it.
Okay.
The other thing that I think will be interesting to see is how voice technology is integrated. In some of the early studies with voice technology, people who might have been using the device for a week or so find their voices hoarse because they have to say so many commands.
Yeah.
So there's going to have to be some marriage between voice, gesture, and controller until it becomes comfortable for people to use as part of their everyday workflow.
Fascinating stuff, Megan. I wish we had more time to chat. Just one final question before I let you get back to the show here. What have you made of London Tech Week and of Techcelerate and bringing all of these technologies under one roof so far?
I think it's so impressive. I go to conferences all over the world, and this has been a really amazing experience so far, and I can't wait to check out all of the opportunities here.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us, Megan.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of the week.